Hello everyone, chapter 5 Kingdoms, Kings and Early Republic. Today we talk about Janpadas and Mahajanpadas. As yesterday I told you how that time the people elected their Rajas and the society were divided into four jatis, means Varnas, Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudras. Now the Shudras were the society, the group of society, those were segregated by the on the basis of their birth by the priest. If the one's father and the mother were Brahmin, so one would automatically become a Brahmin, so on later. Okay, so they classify some people as untouchable because they birth in untouchable family. Some craft person, hunter gatherer as well, people who help and perform burials and cremations. Their priest said that the contact with these group was polluting. So the priest divided that group, segregate that group as a untouchables. Now let's talk about the Janpadas. As you know, the Rajas, that time the Rajas for election Raja, the Raja performed the big sacrifice like Ashwamedha and recognized being a Raja of particular Janpadas. So Janpadas rather than Janas. So the word Janpadas literally means the land. Everyone please underline where the Janas set its foots, where the Janas settled down, the place the people were lived. Some important Janpadas are shown in map number 4. So everyone please mark these Janpadas on your map. Everyone please ready? Please mark Purana Kila in Delhi. Mark Janpadas at Delhi. Hastinapur in UP near Meerut. So mark Hastinapur near Delhi in UP. Then next is Atran Jirkhera near Meerut. Now next near Eta, last two are in the Uttar Pradesh. Eta also in Uttar Pradesh. So these are the example of Janpadas, means the land where Janas people set its foot. Now what kind of crops are found there? So that these people lived in herds and kept cattle as well as other animals. They also grew a variety of crops like rice, wheat, barley, pulses, sugarcane, sesame and mustard. So these people were involved in agriculture activity. Now they also made earthen pots. Some of these were the gray in color and other were red. One special type of pottery found in these side known as painted grayware. As in the obvious from the name, these gray pots had painted designs, used the simple lines and geometrical pattern. I will show in picture. Wait. Now you can see the gray pottery famous in Janpadas. The people involved, Janpadas people involved in making this kind of potteries. Okay. Now next, as you can see the geometrical pattern on this pottery, the geometrical pattern. Okay. Here you can see many more pictures. There's the broken part. is there. You can see the red and brown pottery, the found in Janpadas, geometrical pattern. Now the next talk about Mahajanpadas. As you can notice that the name Maha means the bigger the Janpadas. So the Janpadas became more important than it known as Mahajanpadas. Okay. If we give you example that Magda is a monarchy ruled by the king during this time, and it was the most powerful Mahajanpadas. And this why it was most powerful, this was due to a different reason. First, let's talk about Mahajanpadas. So the more important, those Janpadas became more important, they known as the Mahajanpadas. The most Mahajanpadas has capital city, many of these were fortified. These mean that that area is enclosed by the huge walls. The walls of wood or bricks or stone were built around them. So for the protection of the Mahajanpadas. Now everyone mark Mahajanpadas on your map. Now you mark like Magda, Kosala, Hastinapur, Panchala, Ujjain, Takshila. Everyone please mark on your map. Vaishali, and many more. So let's talk how these forts were built, because the people why these kind of forts were built in Mahajanpadas. There's a different reason behind it. Okay, so let's have a look. So the fort probably built because the people were afraid of attacks from the other kings and needed to protection. That is why each and every country have their body security force, that they protect their country from other attack. So that time the Mahajanpadas protected their fort by the fortification. And why they did so? Because of the afraid of attack from other king, and they needed to be protection. That is why they forts were built over there. Okay, and it is also likely that the some ruler wanted to show how rich and powerful they were, because they're building really a large kingdom. Okay, large, tall and fort, and that enclosed by tall and impressive walls around their cities, which show how much they're powerful. And the another way, the land of the people living inside fortified area could be controlled more easily by the king, because the king know how many people living in that area. Okay, were living in that area, and building such huge wall required great deal of planning. Thousand, if not lack of break stone had to be prepared. This is done means enormous labor provided possible by the thousands of men, women, and children. Resources had to be found for all of these. So that kind of things require for build the fort. Okay, and the fort were built for only because of these purpose. So as you can see in this picture, you can see the fortification wall of Kaushambi. This picture of remain the wall made of bricks found near the present day Allahabad, Allahabad, Uttar Pradesh. Part of this is probably about 2,500 years ago. You can see huge wall. Now the next one, the new Rajas now begin maintaining army, because they need protection. So that is why they maintain army. Now soldiers For the soldier paid regular salary and maintained by the king throughout the year. Some payment were probably made using a punch marked coin, like we have a coin that punch the India currency, and the same way that time the ruler used the punch mark coin to give the salary to their soldier. Okay, now let's talk about the taxation system in the Mahajanapadas. So if we talk about, am I audible? Am I audible, everyone? Show your digital thumb. Fine, fine. Thank you. So for maintaining their Mahajanpadas, for giving the salary, they require the tax. So the large army require more money. Therefore, the king began to collect the tax on the regular basis. In this way, they had money, na? They appointed officer to collect the tax from the people. Most of the people were farmer, so agriculture was the most important source of revenue or the income for the ruler. The farmer gave 1/6. As you can see, the farmer gave 1/6 of what was produced to the king. And that part, that tax known as bhaga or share of the produce. The 1/6 part known as bhaga and share of the produce. The next one is that kind of tax. During this time, the farmer began to produce more from their land. This was because two factors. Because the first, the iron plow came to be used on large scale, and this was improvement of over the wooden plow. Second, the practice of transplanting paddy. Okay. Now the other sources like craft person as well as these could have been a form of labor. They can give the tax in form of labor. Like for example, the weaver, artisan, smith, they had to work for a day or every month for the king, or they work in palaces. So in this way, they serve in that palaces. They did some artisan work or weaving work in the palaces. So in this way, they gave their tax to ruler. Now next, herder were also expected to pay the tax to the ruler in form of provide the animal to the king. That animal used in transportation or for army. Now there were also tax on goods. There was sale and purchase, sold and bought through the trade. The tax was on that. And the hunter-gatherer also provide forest product to the Raja, like animal or rubber or wood to Raja for construction work, for weapons, or any other. So these kind of the tax were very popular in Magda. Fine, everyone? Now next one is change in agriculture. As I told you, that time the plow was very common. The first iron plow came to be used in a large scale. It was an improvement over the wooden plow. And the second, the practice of transplanting paddy. Look at here. Okay, so how the plowshare, the iron plowshare help them? It means that the heavy and clayey soil could turn easily or better if we compare with the wooden plowshare. Now then, next achievement in agriculture, they begin to transplanting paddy. This means that instead of scattering the seed on the ground from which plant would sprout, okay, sapling were grown. The small plants were grown, then planted in the field. This lead the increase the production as many more plants survive. For earlier time, they scattered the seeds. That kind of the agriculture method they were adopted. But later that they adopted the transplanting paddy system, that they grow small plant, and in this way they increase the production because the many and more plants survive. Okay, slave man, women, dasi, landless agriculture laborer had to do this kind of work. So that kind of the agriculture changes occur in Mahajanpadas. So if we closer look the Mahajanpadas, Magda or Veji. So first have a look of Magda. So Magad was monarch ruler, monarchy ruled by a king. During this period, it was most powerful Mahajanpadas. Why we call this a powerful Magda? It was a various reason behind it. Because Magda was located in the Gangetic basin, and the soil of that area was very fertile, yield good harvest, good production were there. So the land tax was high, and it provided a large income for the kingdom. Okay, the collected tax, the amount is too high, so it provide a large amount of income to the kingdom. This enable the kings to maintain a large army or make the Magda more powerful. Okay, fine. Now next is the forest provided Magda with the timber and elephant. So timber were used to build the house, fort, palaces, or chariot or elephant were used in army. Fine. Now the next one is the Magda has a large deposit of iron ore, which is used to make agriculture tools and weapons for battle and wars. This thing make the Magda more powerful. And Magda was also protected by nature, because the old capital of Rajgira, the present day Rajgir, was surrounded by hills, all sides. So the natural boundary of the Magda, it is a very specially significant for to create the Magda more powerful Mahajanpada. The new capital of Magda, Patliputra, was situated along the river Ganga. There was a natural barrier against any attack on the kingdom. Okay, and Magda also had a flourishing trade with the other region. Like the Magda ruled by the powerful king like Bimbisara, Ajatashatru, and Mahapadmananda. They were always trying to expand their territory. So these all things make Magda more powerful.